Hi there YouTube, Mr. Livery here. We are continuing the GA around Australia today in Sierra Golf Echo. We are at Jandakot, outside the Mooney Service Centre and the Royal Aero Club. Just going to head out to the aircraft. Before we do that though, we need to look at our flight plan. A little bit complicated today since we are inside a controlled airspace. Well, we're not actually inside controlled airspace, we're below it. We're going to stay just underneath the CTA today. Unfortunately, we don't have, as far as I know, Jandakot Tower. So I'm going to be CTAF outbound today. There's our plane. Hi, that's a Kip and Matthew. And Tim I saw as well. Cool. So we have all of our stuff here. Here's the VTC. That's the VNC, I think. So on the VTC we could see Jandakot there. We're popping southbound, so Yangabup Lake, Thompson Lake, southbound, and then we're going to track by Rockingham, and Mandurah. Further down past this beach, we're going to stay coastal all the way past Australand and going to stop at Bunbury Airfield. Then after Bunbury, we're going to take on down to Busselton. We can see that if we stuck to the inland route, we have all of these airfields here with caution, low-level aerobatics. Have no interest in passing over those, so I'll stay to the coastal route. Here's something that I planned earlier. It's based on the current weather. So essentially in this little corner of the world here, bottom is a 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. So staying in this kind of region. Wind 150 at 12 or 10, depending on how high you are. And the temperature 13, 10, 8. Don't have the weather yet. Actually we do. We have the NAPES. So Jandakot is showing wind 200 at 5. So looking at the chart here, runway 24 right for departure, and it'll be a straight ahead departure. So pretty much 24 right, and just continue tracking along on the 240 heading. After departure, we're going to be flying via this flight plan. So the first waypoint is YGB. YGB being Yangabup Lake. After that's Tommel. And these are pretty short distances, 2 miles and 3 miles. Take about 3 minutes because we'll be at 80 knots on the climb. And then we're accelerating as we level off at 1,500. So it'll only take 1 minute to get down to Thompson's Lake. After that, we pass through the 2,500, climbing again. And once we're clear of there, we have a 3,500. So we're going to stop the climb at 3,500, tracking to Rockingham. And once we're pretty much be in these chimneys, we'll continue on climbing to 4,500. Am I good with vPilot problem solving? Not really. Not really. I can make it work sort of sometimes on my machine. Anyway, let's jump on. have drop in the flaps. And one little fake walk around. First things first, flaps. Made him jump instead of crouch. Ailerons, wingtip light, fuel, under fuel, checking the tyres, checking the oil, props, air intakes, more fuel, more landing gear, is it Pito out in that wing somewhere? Other wing on these airplanes, isn't it? There it is. That thing right there. Wingtip lights, ailerons and flaps, elevator and the trim, rudder, and up we go. Waypoint for Yangabub is Yankee Golf Bravo YGB. Cycle tips, g'day. Grab the door closed, open the window. Alright, checklist. Pre-flight is completed, chocks are away. Before start checklist, brakes are set. Circuit breakers are in, they're all over there. Alternate air is off. Prop fully forward, avionics are off. Fuel selector. We'll set the left tank first. Cool. Throttle, a little open. Switches. Cool. Mixture is fully rich and back with the fuel pump. Pumps off. Cool, looking for it says 1400 on the RPM. Let's go. Clear prop. Check the heading. Showing 3 seconds to 9.5. So that's closer to 90. That'll do that. And might as well pop it all in. We can, so we might as well. So you can give up Y Golf Bravo. Thompson Lake TOML. Maybe not. Have to do that manually, I suppose. Never mind. After that, we'll just chuck in Bunbury, YBUN. Eltom. Ah, good stuff. So they've actually changed the identifier recently. That makes sense. Thanks for that, Cole. Eltom. There you go. And I think it's putting the other ones in as well. ROHM. And Mandra, MDU. Used to be Eltom, now it's Tommel. Lake Thompson instead of Thompson Lake. That was a very important difference. Cool, we have YPJT 118.1. I do want to pick up an AWS.
Automated Weather Information Service. Jandakot Airport. Time 0840 Zulu. Wind 230 degrees magnetic at 10 knots. Visibility 25 kilometers. Present weather. No significant weather. Cloud clear below 10,000 feet. Temperature 17. Dew point 10. QNH 1027 hectopascals. Rainfall last 10 minutes.
Cool. Well, ready to move. That's going to be runway 24. We're out here, so we're taxiing out via Bravo all the way up. Traffic Jandakot, Southern April and Sierra Golf Echo is a Piper Arrow taxiing out to runway 24 right via Bravo. Sierra Golf Echo. Yep, Matt, I've got your phone number. I'll be up there on Saturday, aiming for about 3.
Jandakot traffic, Mike Sierra Golf is a Beechcraft Baron, taxiing to runway 24 right after the Piper Arrow.
There's Bravo. I reckon that's the run-up bay just before Bravo 5. CTF is the same as tail 118.1. That's Foxtrot there. The V spinning, an hour of flight time, but we are stopping at Bunbury for a little bit, so add an extra 20 minutes there. And ticker 24 today. Got a local here. I went in that one backwards. Do it again. I guess they're putting us into the wind. Kind of makes sense. Okay, brakes are in. Mixture fully rich. Let's push it up. To the left.
Papa 5.
No, we don't have any ATC today, unfortunately. Anyway, even if we did have ATC, we'd only interact with one, well, the guys at Jandakot, which would be tower. Ground if it really existed. Once we take off and get 3 miles away from Jandakot, we'll be outside of controlled airspace again. As long as we stay below 1,500. pop in Perth because we could use it for the control steps. 1137. Cool, transponder going in. There we go. Just going to do a control check. Yeah, looks like we won't have any ATC. Well, we're planning not to have any control zone encounters at this point. Would have been nice to have a Jandakot tower for this first 3 miles of the flight, but after that, we're outside of controlled airspace. Even if you're flying in the real world, you wouldn't need any controllers. Let's roll out. Traffic Jandakot, Sierra Golf Echoes, taxiing runway 24 right. Right. We're stopped, they're already moving. We'll let them pass if they want. They've kind of come to a stop. Keen to get this airplane over to Murrin by Monday, because on Monday we've got Milk Run Monday and Perth will be on, so I'll be flying an IFR flight out of Murrin
Jandakot traffic,
all the
Mike
way
Sierra
up
Golf,
to
taxiing behind the Papa Arrow to runway 24 right.
Alice Springs. Oh, that's how the runway. Good thing I'm on extra bit. Traffic Jandakot, Sierra Golf Echo, Piper Arrow, entering runway 24 right, straight out departure. Let's go. Window open. Yeah, coming up.
Traffic Jandakot, Mike Sierra Golf, holding short runway 24 right on runway 5, lining up. Jandakot traffic, Mike Sierra Golf departing runway 24 right to the south, Mike Sierra Golf.
is our lake. $1,005. I'm not sure what my longest ever flight was, but I can guarantee it wasn't in a Piper Arrow. Alrighty, from here on we can climb up to 2,500 and then after that 3,500. Just aiming straight at the shoreline now. I can see those smokestacks straight ahead. That very clear smokestack right there, that's powerhouse. It's 140 already, I reckon. RPM. A little more, I reckon. $25. outside of that. We can climb to 3,500 now. Just keep on tracking along, nice and quiet. So from here on, at Rockingham, we are tracking pretty much coastal down the west coast of Australia. A little bit of cloud cover up ahead. Not sure how high that is. Might stay down at 2005. That's a good thing about flying along the coastline, especially out here. You kind of know how high everything is outside here. So you can just, 1,000 feet, yeah, you can do that. Let's pop some autopilot. I reckon we passed that a minute early, so it'll be 59 there. It's got 5 and 15. So I've got the next 24 minutes planned out. We said 140 knots. Ground speed 132, a little bit faster than that. Relaxing a little bit off the power. A little quicker than that. I'm not sure, I don't think it can. It's not a max. That's bringing it up 6 hours and 11 minutes. Alright, it might actually be able to do it. Just. A bit of a pain, but... Apparently the 777 does it in 6 hours and 11 minutes. So I reckon that's in the ballpark for a 737 flight. That said, I'm seeing other airlines taking a full 7 hours to do it. Yeah, it's on the edge of the range. I don't think it'd have much of a useful commercial load if you flew from Singapore to Melbourne in a 737. Like 0 passengers and hardly any stuff. There it is, 5 minutes. So we're at MDU, Mandra. On to Mandra. We do fly over the lagoon here. Yeah, 737 is essentially a Boeing FMS. Looks a bit weird when you first see it, but when you realise, get down into the program, you realise it's just essentially the same thing. To the point that you can take the Boeing 777 checklist and just use it on the 787. The word cheap and the word flight sim don't really go together. That's not because flight sim is amazingly cool, it's just that we have really inefficient programs that completely slam your processors. Usually processor 1, leaving the other processors doing nothing. That just had to blow my nose. And cough as well. Yep, if you know the way around a 737 and got the 787, you probably find your way around without needing to do too much work. Engine start and that kind of stuff would be the most difficult part. The FMS is the same. Yep, I'm currently using vPilot. Right there. Here's how I use it. I click that connect button and then I put that away. Ta-da! That's how you use vPilot. Of course you have to install it first. I believe the installer is you double click an executable file and you click OK about 18 times and that's it. Then you go to settings and stick in your vatsim ID there, password there, name there. Select which server you want to connect to. They're all connected to each other, all of them. It doesn't matter which one you use. Click connect, write in the call sign, write in the correct ICAO code for an aircraft. We are flying a P28A, and there you go. A lot of messages saying you can't connect to a voice server. Yeah, I had a lot of that in the last couple of weeks. I think we're just off overloading the servers, that's all. The way you fix that is by vatsim fixing that. Ah, vPilot cutting all the sound to your PC. That's a Windows thing. We got some weird stuff in, let's see, that program. Probably sound control panel, something in there. Is something about calls, like it'll do the same thing with Skype calls. If you've ever used Skype and have someone call you, that'll do the same thing unless you do the option to make it not be that thing. I don't know what that option is. Obviously I've done it because it's not affecting me. Look in Google. Sound cuts out when using a second program or whatever. Exposing the issue with your full screen with FSX is it does that. The end. Don't use FSX in full screen. The way that I do it in P3D is P3D pretends to do a full screen when it's actually not. "15 minutes, we're about 5 minutes out, and we'll be at the top of the lake. That lake right there. What did we call it in our thing? I think it's Clifton. Yeah, Lake Clifton. I think the next one after that is Lake Preston. Yeah, I never went full screen in FSX. I used to have this program which would take out the title bar, so just use that. And you put your task tray on the other screen that you don't use FSX on. Task tray over there, and just get rid of your top thing, however that is. I think there's a program that's available somewhere on the internet. Yeah, I never used FSX in full screen. Once I figured out you can't use the second screen at all, it's like, what's the point? Just leave it in window mode. In P3D you can go to full screen, but the reason that works is because they've like tricked Windows 10 into thinking that it's not in full screen. Hi there, Ben. How you doing? Time is 12. We'll cross this in 3 minutes. End of that lake. Ah, toilet's here. Gets us out. We're also in that part of the world where we can climb up to 4,500. In fact, we can probably climb up all the way to 18,000 feet out here. Yep. So we'll pop on up to 4005 and we'll stay there for a bit. Power all the way forward for the climb. So well south of Perth now. Well south of Mandurah now. That's the Forest Highway just off to our left. And beyond the Forest Highway is the Mile Up State Forest. Kind of a little national park thing. Everything out this way has the suffix up. So it's like mile up, binning up. Udak. Or Wakalup. Push the TalkWorks on mine. You have to set it right. Ah, that's right. You have to run as an administrator, otherwise you can't see key presses outside, like when you're not focused on that program. So run as administrator. That's a Windows 10 thing. You'll find that is common across all programs in Windows 10, not just vatsim programs. Yeah, I'll use that button right there. If you're not running vPilot as run as administrator, you can't actually touch any buttons without being focused on the window. So as soon as I'm, for instance, wanting to do something over here, like that, I've lost focus on vPilot and I can't use the push to talk button until I refocus on it. So if I click out of it, this program isn't in focus anymore and it won't accept any commands. That's nothing to do with vPilot, that's to do with Windows 10. It is run it as administrator all the time. Right click, run it as admin. Right click like that. Or of course, if you have a yoke or joystick, snap onto the buttons and it works anyway, but fair enough, you actually probably should be running vPilot as admin anyway. Time 21. At time 21 we should be pretty much at the, what's it called, Liefkenelt Lagoon? Something like that. Estuary. Liefkenelt Peninsula Estuary. I can see it off in the distance already. Hi there, Titan Inspector. We are on the leg from Perth's Jandakot Airport down to Bunbury and then Busselton after we land at Bunbury. Not a particularly long flight tonight. We should be done by an hour and a bit. Southeast part of Western Australia near Perth. No big mines or anything down here, it's just natural park, farming, holiday homes, small industry. Cool, 4,500, sticking to it. Time 21, and it'll be 24 at Bunbury. $20 miles out, and we're expecting 29. Does that math work out? 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 should have been, right? We're a minute early. Probably lose that minute in the descent anyway, all good. Experimenting, you should see a couple of weeks ago I did a 737 flight from Oslo in Scandinavia down to Dubai, about 6.5 hours. A little bit of history lesson about the Opera House there as well. The Sydney Opera House, not Oslo one. Yeah, Transavia, good stuff. Eight-hour video on the stream of a 737. It's about 6.5 hours, I think, for Amsterdam over to Dubai. Ever so slightly longer than that from Oslo. About 6 hours 45, nearly 7. Yeah, you can do it. Can't do it with a full load. You have to take like 30 to 50 passengers. Each passenger is limited to a weight limit of about 7 kilograms of bags, plus an extra 2 or 3. And no extra cargo. A runway that crosses a driveway. Okay, that's intense. That's pretty intense. Is that it there? Near Mile Up? Anyway, we're getting some clouds below us. I'm not interested in staying up here. Let's get out. Pump is on. Let's drop the other tank. $100 passengers, Amsterdam to Dubai. Good stuff. Most airlines have a limit of baggage, so passengers are only allowed to take, with the low-cost carriers, it's usually 7 kilograms of bags. The bigger ones you'll take maybe 15 kilograms. Of course, passengers can pay more money to take more than that, but that's usually the allowance that they work on. Went up the right CTAF. Should have sorted that out. I'm going to do an orbit here because I wasn't actually ready to get into the zone. Bunbury. Elevation 53, runway 25, CTAF 126.7, and it looks like they don't have a phone number for the AWS. Fair enough. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo is a Piper Arrow at 3,500, descending to join circuit at Bunbury, runway 25. Estimate circuit time on the hour. 30, sorry. Sierra Golf Echo, traffic Bunbury.
Traffic Bunbury, Mike Sierra Golf is Beechcraft Baron turning base to runway 25. Mike Sierra Golf.
BMDG can be in both. It's a option in the FMS, one of the options there. On the first menu page, press menu, and then on the right hand side of the FMS, down the bottom, you'll see PMDG options and stuff like that. Click on aircraft and you can change the settings to kilograms or pounds. There's a whole bunch of other settings down there you can pick as well. Having a head-up display or not having a head-up display, all of that stuff. Okay, we're coming in from the north and we want to do left-hand circuits on the runway 15. We'll fly over the field at 1,500. Hold 15 set. Here's how to figure out how much baggage cargo you have. What's the maximum amount of baggage that a passenger can have? Is it 7 or is it 15? Decide or research a particular airline that you're simulating and find that information out. It'll be on those kind of numbers. Let's choose 15 kilograms of bags per passenger maximum. How many passengers do you have? 100 passengers, you say. What's 100 times 15? That's how many kilograms of bags you have.
Bunbury traffic, Mike Sierra Golf has vacated runway 25. Clear of all runways, Mike Sierra Golf.
Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo is 2 miles to the north of the field, flying at overhead the field 1,500 to join midfield downwind, runway 25. Looking for 100 knots. Looking for other planes. Looks good so far. And gear coming down. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo is turning downwind of runway 25. Mixed to fully rich, propellers coming up. Settle the last 100 feet. Alright, checklist. Brakes are released, undercarriage is down, 3 green. Mixture fully rich, prop is fully forward, pump is on. Instrument is set, seats and enhancers are secure. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo turning base runway 25. Stage 1 off lap, continue the turn. Rest of the time. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo, final runway 25. Not quite mad at that one. Small taxiways up there or not? Don't think so. Have to do the turn around. Driving Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo, taxiing to backtrack, runway 25. See, that wasn't quite there. Driving Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo has vacated runway 25. Auckland's not that bad, it's ILS's. Nothing's that challenging about an ILS unless there's something weird about the ILS itself. Such as the one at London City. Brakes are set. Let's have a look outside. Top lock. The door. And give it a good push. All right. Let's jump on out. Cool. So that's us down in Bunbury. We're going to go to Busselton now. Not a very long flight to Busselton. It's about 23 nautical miles, I think it was measured. So we'll go up to 2,500 and then we'll come back down again. Scenic Flights, the Bunbury Aero Club. Not a bad little place. A bit far away from Perth, but you know. If you lived down here, why wouldn't you? Dude from Perth, how far away is Bunbury by car from, say, Jandakot? Obviously it's... How many minutes flight? About 40 minutes away from in a plane. What's that in the car? 1 hour 40? Okay, cool. That's possibly a little bit further away than I am from Taiab. That same distance actually, because I'm in basically next to Essendon in the real world. Been to Bunbury? I'm sure it's one of those default flights that people fly as soon as they get their PPL. Probably as part of their PPL. Come down here to do navs. I was going to do the circles again. Fine. Ah, the green building is RFDS and the red building is the flight school. Cool. Yeah, not a bad looking airport, actually. It does remind me a little bit of Victoria's Taiab. Taiab. I was thinking Taradan for a second there. Nothing like Taradan. Taradan's weird. But yeah, very Taiab looking. Kind of these nice little homely buildings, and it's a nice community down there. Might be, don't know. Western Australians are a different bunch to us Easterners. I know that from working NBN at work. People in Western Australia are a little bit different to the people in the rest of Australia. Queenslanders are a little bit odd as well, oddball. The further north you go, the worse they are. Western Australians, I think the attitude's not too bad. We've got a large portion of our technicians working in Mandurah at the moment, between Mandurah and Rockingham. Beyond the guys that work in Sydney, I'd put Perth as my second favourite. Although the supervisors there are Irish guys and I can barely understand what they say. Very touchy, territorial. Ah, intriguing. That's very different to Victoria. In Victoria, everyone... This is our airport, and our airport has everybody's welcome. Until you get to Moorabbin, in which case it's just free for all and go for it. Everyone's in everyone's way. Alrighty, let's run a startup. We have the checklist out. Throttle to 1/2 inch. Also switch is on, battery's on, fuel pump goes on for a second with that down. Mixture fully rich for a couple of seconds and then down we go. Pump off. Mixture fully rich. And looking for 1400. Clear prop. Come on, get it. So one tiny click spot, that's really hard to hit. 1400 RPM set. Let's letting it off a little. So I'll just be flying the essentially the coastline. There's a little river about halfway through, which is 8 minutes away from us on the climb to 2,500. And then once we get to the river, we should be something like 12 miles away. "23 miles, there we go. We're on CTAF, yes we are. Just making sure I'm monitoring the Unicom properly. Done. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo is a Piper Arrow, taking up to runway 25 and destination Busselton. Yeah, those people with very territorial look about themselves. I think even in the NBN, most of the places are a little bit territorial, but when you get out to Geraldton specifically, it was insane. I only had to deal with it over the telephone, but even that was far too much. Anyhow, we have a run up to do. Before we do that, get that turned back on. Cool. Well, for 2,000. That RPM drop is way too hard on this particular add-on. It never looked like that. And this recovers way too slowly. In fact, if a real plane did that, I'd probably take it back to the hangar and say there's something wrong with the prop RPM. This is how this add-on's programmed. That's all we know. Right, mixture full rich comes in, fuel pump is on, all those lights, and off we go. Traffic Bunbury, Sierra Golf Echo, entering runway 25, departure southbound. Bit of the crosswind on that one. Gear up. .500, starting the turn. Putting down for 2400 RPM. Set. $1,500. Straight down the coastline. Found the peak. Little tiny bit richer. Time was 45. No, it wasn't. It was 49. Sorry. That was 49. So 8 minutes after that, which would be 57. Okay, let's look at the CTAF info down here at Busselton. 56, AWS and CTAF. 127.0. Roll autopilot for a little bit just to get the AWS. $17 miles. Just relaxing the power a little bit.
Information Service, Busselton Airport, time 0951 Zulu, wind 140 degrees magnetic at 5 knots, temperature 14, dew point minor, QNH 1028 hectopascals, rainfall.
Cool, QNH 1028 and the wind 140 at 5. Puts us on 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 70 degrees off, so almost in the same direction as the arrow there. 210, one-way 21, 14 miles. Visual with the lake there.
Boston traffic, Mike Sierra Golf has vacated all runways.
Now the QNH 1028. $13 miles. Time 54. Should be a river somewhere. see that. That's good enough. Dropping the autopilot, 10 miles an hour. Guess then we'll just stay inland slightly. Is it? No, it's over the water, it's on the terminal side. So I'm coming in from... Oh, that's really weird with it offset like that. 03. Almost a straight in, isn't it? We'll come in from the dead side and then enter the entire circuit, I reckon. Busselton traffic, Sierra Golf Echo is a Piper Arrow, 2,300, 10 miles north of Busselton. Descending to join the dead side of the circuit, then enter a downwind runway to 1 Sierra Golf Echo. Stay off to the west, pass in front of runway 03 and then come into this full circuit. Airport's in sight. Nice big light. Cool, we'll descend down to 1,500 on the dead, cross over and then pop down to 1. I have a niece that lives in Perth, I haven't seen her for a while. Electron tank has the most out of it. Left, cool, just down the right. 1,500, that's subtle. Traffic Busselton, Sierra Golf Echo is on the dead side of runway 21, descending to 1,000 feet from 1,500. I'll call one on that one. You guys are here with your crazy Airbuses and stuff. Fortunately, we can park down here somewhere. Busselton traffic, Sierra Golf Echo is turning to cross the field at 1200. Join approach runway 21. Straighten that out. Get the gear down. Three green. Mixture full. Prop full. Lane checklist. Landing gear down. 3 green. Brakes are off. Undercarriage down. Mixture fully rich. Prop fully forward. Pump is on. Fuel, seats and harnesses are secure. Nice sunset there. Good stuff. Traffic Busselton, Sierra Golf Echo turning base runway 21. Using the sun as a waypoint there. Get some more flap out. Traffic Busselton, Sierra Golf Echo turning final runway 21. Busselton traffic, Sierra Golf Echo, vacated runway 21.
Traffic.
Flaps down. Yep. A320s do fly here, and no, there is no control tower. It is in fact a sea tower. Mechanical's off. True. At the new apron, that's not in this scenery, unfortunately. SKO. SKO. Is that the Prime Minister's Cessna? Just looking for Mo. Brakes are set. And we'll shut it down. Alright, pop open the door. Spencer got it. Good old VH-SGE. Reset to neutral. Cool. Let's jump on out. Shutting the door with the force. Good old police. Most annoying part of flying is packing it up after you've arrived. Chucking some wheel chocks down in there. Throwing some tent pegs into the grass, literally some tent pegs, hammer, 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 hammer. Then attach that to the wing. Making sure that they wheel chocks are nice and solid. Airplane's not going to move around in the wind. Same deal there. Other deal to do is coming around here and making sure that the pitot has a nice little cover over the top. They get stuff in there. Insects. Another tent peg into the ground and another wire holding it down. A lot of aeroplanes even have a cover that goes over the windows. And that is the most annoying thing in the world to put on. So it has to be like snug and very, very tight. And if you get it a little bit wrong, you have to find out where it is wrong. You probably have to redo it from there. And it could be like way back there that's gone wrong. Anyway, this plane doesn't have a cover for the windows. So just leave it as it is. Good stuff. I do both. I do kilograms if I'm flying a 737 in Australia. I do pounds if I'm doing a 737 in the United States. Because that's how it goes in the real world. If you're flying for Southwest Airlines, they've never heard of what a kilogram is. They've never heard of a kilo anything. Not a kilometre, not a kilogram, not a kiloton. Because they're Americans. And in America they have pounds, and they have gallons, and they have feet. They have miles. So yeah, depends. Kilograms or pounds in the 737? My answer is yes. Yes, I do kilograms or pounds in the 737. The correct aircraft. Make sure that you're actually using kilograms when you've got kilograms. Make sure you've got pounds when you're using pounds. Anyhow, that is the stream. We're here in Bunbury. Quite a lot of aircraft here, yeah, you're right. Mostly on the ground. What's next up? I think on Friday we're flying to Fiji. So I guess I'll see you guys on Friday on our way to Fiji. Till then, I've been Musical Aviator. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.